peeps. What are the audio levels saying? Might turn the music down a piece. I can't really tell how loud or quiet shit is. How's everyone doing today? I hope you're all rosy and nice. I've been stuck behind the computer all day, like drawing and animating stuff for my next video. It's starting to feel a bit stir crazy. I've been in the same room since I got up this morning. Losing my mind. Yo, big up. Yeah, so it's been a long old haul, because obviously YouTube changed the requirements a little while back for what's required to become a partner and actually, you know, have some kind of validation that what you're doing is okay. But I actually finally made it, which was awesome. It took them a little while to approve me. I guess maybe they're quite busy, or you know, it was the holiday season or whatever, but it's finally gone through, and that's it. We've made it. I've ordered the Lamborghini already, so that should be here tomorrow, and then I'm just gonna flex on everyone for the foreseeable future. Catch me outside the Supreme store. Might start doing start promoting some gambling scams for children, or you know, that sort of standard YouTuber thing. Oh shit. Thank you, James Moore. Jesus, what the hell, man? Oh, that's incredible. Thank you. He said, I'm so proud of you. Keep up the great work, my pizza. That's really, really, really nice of you, man. Yo, chill. Congrats, no BBA. Oh, you guys are so generous. That's awesome. Thank you. What the hell? Yeah, thank you so much, James Moore and Trevor. Sorry, I'm just trying to like read the chat off my phone. When I like try and run Photoshop and stream at the same time, my computer just sounds like it's about to like blast off and just like do one up into the upper atmosphere. So I have to like bring up the live chat on my shitty little phone, so it's kind of hard to read the. Got to squint at it a lot. Big Man Ting saying hookers and blow. I mean, I think my days of hookers and blow are far behind me. I've never actually, I don't think I've ever even seen a hooker in real life. And as for the blow, well, I'm not going to say anything incriminating on a live stream, but I'm not going to participate in that sort of thing. But I appreciate the sentiment. I know what you're going for. You want me to have a good old time, and I will. I'm gonna. Sophie says, congrats, I'm your #1 fan. Yes, you are. What do you think of Castlevania? Castlevania is pretty rad. I really enjoyed Symphony of the Night. I've not played any of the more recent iterations of the game because it's just really fucking hard and I don't have the patience. All I really play right now is I'm playing Smash Bros Ultimate at the moment, which is pretty dope. Like, I think it's the first Smash game that I've actually sat down and really made a thorough stab at. The other ones I usually just kind of play casually with friends, and I was always really pretty garbage at it, and I didn't really understand the mechanics. It always really confused me, but I've kind of got my head around it now. Probably about 1% of my way through the spirit mode because it's just huge. I just realised I'm not drawing and fucking hell, right, but the whole point of me being here. Shit. Are you a hooker? No, unfortunately not. I don't think anyone would pay for my greasy pizza body. Well, I don't know actually. They'd want to eat me. I don't know if anyone would want to do anything else, and I'm not really into cannibalism, so I couldn't really put a price on it, to be honest. Right, so on today's agenda, we're going to be drawing the bosses, bureaucracy. We're going to draw some bureaucracy, swathes of clueless twats, and no cross-departmental communications. So basically, in my next video, which is the Q&A video, I'm kind of like telling the story of who I am and where I've come from and what I've done, like professionally and personally, and where I've got my experience from and where I learned, well, you know, how I got to where I am now in terms of being a creative personage. And I'm just kind of talking about my career a little bit and the kind of the places I've worked and the people I've worked for. Not being very specific because I don't want to get done for slander, but yeah, I'm just kind of talking about my frustrations with the corporate world. So I need to draw some pictures. Normally I have like a really kind of a clear idea in my head of what something's going to look like, and then so it's really easy to kind of like create it and put it down. But I can't even really see what I'm going to do for this one. Like, I know that I kind of want like a Russian doll effect, so if I just sketch a tiny little thing, like these kind of like 3 characters that get increasingly bigger, that's kind of just to represent the structure of the company, and that like if this is my boss, then their boss, then their boss. So we're talking about the boss and how completely out of touch they are with everything, and the decision making is completely beyond me. Right, seen Aquaman pizza. The creatures are cool, but there's many corny scenes. My pizza, I can say, not worth unless you want to see close-up of Jason's face. I don't mind Mr. Momoa, or however you say his name. He's a pretty cool dude. I really liked The Bad Batch. I thought that was an alright movie. Kind of a little bit wanky at times, but overall enjoyable. It looked nice, and I think it was a directorial debut, which was quite impressive considering just how competent it was. EK Drifter 458 says, big congrats, man. Really hope you become top 10 YouTuber. Jesus. Fat chance of that, unless I start putting out music, and although I could probably write some pretty good lyrics, I don't think I could ever really perform anything. I can't sing. I can play guitar a bit. I used to play guitar a lot when I was younger. But then instrumental, like actual instrument music isn't really in anymore, is it? It's all about the auto-tune and the trap beats. Talking of that, I know I already asked, somebody's probably already replied, but is the audio level okay? Like, can you hear me okay, and is the music of a reasonable volume? It's hard for me to tell. Why are the 3 pictures of Snake from Metal Gear? Oh, that's actually a pretty good idea. So, oh no, but Snake's cool. I mean, I could probably give one of them an eye patch, but I don't want them to be cool. These are supposed to be like dickheads, like uppity twats. So they're kind of. I'm gonna give them like a. Yaw. Is that right? Nah. So I'm just gonna like doodle some stuff out right now. I don't really have a clue what I'm doing at all in life in general. Okay, so they're all obviously gonna have that haircut. So yeah, shout outs to anyone out there who's got a dickhead boss. I feel for you. If anyone's got any particularly grueling stories, of work-related stories about having a terrible boss, now would be the time to share them. Burberry scarves. You see, these aren't like chavvy dickheads. They're kind of like uppity dickheads. So, you know, suits and that. Kind of like just, you know, like just city wankers. How is everyone anyway? You all having a lovely Wednesday/Thursday? I guess you could have like a scarf maybe? You know, just kind of like over the shoulders. Like that kind of a vibe. Captain Beardy says, yeah, I'm fine. You? Yeah, I'm good, man. Thanks for asking. Grats, and I'm doing good. Slacker says, it's pleasant. Sorry, who's the partner? Also, congrats on partner. So yeah, it took YouTube quite a while to sort of fix it up. I actually met the requirements to become partner a while ago, probably over a month ago now. I've just kind of been sat waiting for it to happen. I really was hoping that it would come in before I uploaded my end of the year, my like worst movies of 2018 video, but it didn't make a shit of difference because that's been instantly demonetized anyway, which I appealed and got the usual cold YouTube response of, we're not going to tell you why, so you couldn't possibly prevent this from happening in the future. It's just so fucking annoying. But I'm going to try and set things up in such a way that I'm not beholden to YouTube for ad revenue to kind of support myself, because I think that's a bit of a mistake. I'm going to be looking at trying to find different ways to support myself financially, whether that be through some sponsorships, or I've got some designs that I'm making a start on for some pretty cool t-shirts that I want to get out, probably not for a few months. It'll be like probably in about the summertime. Yeah, that should be really cool. I want to get a bunch of stuff made up. Like, I really want to get some cool stickers and pins. I've been looking at this thing called a Sticker app, and they do like really cool like holographic stuff. It just looks rad. I really want a bunch of them just for myself, really, just to like stick all over my stuff. And then just some other bits and bobs, because I'd really like to try and get like a good sponsor on board, so that I could, you know, rather than doing like your standard ad read, I'd like to make like an original animated ad that will, obviously it will go in like the middle of one of my videos, but actually work on it and create it and make it kind of interesting and funny and more engaging than just your standard ad read, because they can be a bit tedious. Sell yourself like a man-ho. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm not going to go for any old thing. Maybe if you just like gambling sites aimed at kids, I'd pick that deal up, definitely. BetterHelp, that was a good one as well. You know, just anyone who's you know, you could just take advantage of anyone who's in a vulnerable state, you know, whether it be age or mental health. Let's just rip all of them off, eh? But nah, in all seriousness, it would probably have to be something like, I don't know, I'd go with like Skillshare, I reckon. Like, I've used their platform before and it's actually decent and useful. I've even looked into, maybe not right now, but maybe in the near future, actually becoming a teacher on Skillshare, and putting up my own tutorials and stuff of illustration and animation, just like in my own little way. I don't know whether it was just like It must have just been sent to everyone, but I got an email about it like a few weeks ago. And basically you can upload your own seminars, and then if people find them useful, you kind of, I don't know, it escalates from there essentially. But I think that'd be really cool. Because I think I'd like to do that sort of thing anyway. Like, I don't really want to alienate you guys, the loyal subscribers to Cynic Snacks on here, but earlier today I was doing some animation in After Effects, and I was kind of thinking it through in my head, like, could I talk about this while I was doing it at the same time, by way of like a kind of like a live tutorial, just talking through the steps that I was taking. And it seemed like a thing that I think I'd enjoy doing it. It would help solidify in my mind as well the you know, the process that I'm going through, because a lot of it's like second nature now. Like all of the, you know, keyboard shortcuts and shit, I don't even think about what they are. Like, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. My hand just knows what to press. I'm kind of like automatic, like autopilot at this point, because I've been doing this for quite a few years. But I'd really like to also use Skillshare myself to learn some Cinema 4D, because I've got the application on here, and that's kind of like 3D rendering and like making 3D character models and that sort of stuff, because the animation I do is primarily two-dimensional, but I do it in like a three-dimensional space just so you get that kind of depth, but it's kind of just tricks of the eye. What do we got? Well, you're a pizza, so therefore you are unhealthy, and YouTube likes to promote health. So yeah, seems like sound logic to me. So it gives you ads and stuff now. What about the join button? I don't really understand what, like, the whole join thing. I haven't looked into it. I think it might be available to me. I think that might be one of the tier unlocks when you hit 10k subscribers. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure about that, but I know that when you get into that sort of thing, you have to kind of provide additional kind of like bonus content and stuff, which I just don't think I'm really going to have time to do, so I think I might just skip that altogether. I mean, I've got Patreon set up for that sort of thing, and irrespective of all the drama that's going on with, I don't know, people kicking off about their platform, blah blah blah, I don't really know the ins and outs of it. Apparently they're kind of doing some questionable things, but I haven't really kept up to date. But I don't mind it. Like, I've got a couple of people on Patreon, and it's nice, like, put a few behind the scenes bits up there and just do some little things here and there. Just curious, but have you had a YouTube channel before this one? Says Slacker TV. No, not like, well, yeah, I've had like a personal one that I just upload random bullshit to, but I'd never consciously sat down and specifically made a video, you know, for the purpose of a channel. I just uploaded kind of like personal stuff, or I did like a few random kind of like little meme videos at one point ages ago, but that wasn't, you know, it wasn't a channel per se. It was just, I was just uploading them to YouTube so I could share them. This is my first proper venture. Although I've had many ideas for projects that I've gone quite far into in the past, and then just kind of abandoned for one reason or another. Mostly because I kind of, well, yeah, I was just a massive pussy basically, and I was really worried about how people would receive them. But I think now that things are kind of picking up with this channel and getting to know a few more of you guys, and you're all pretty nice, I reckon might be in a good spot to have a stab at one of my original ideas at some point down the line, hopefully this year. I've got loads of stuff like scripted and storyboarded, loads of characters done, loads of ideas, just all relegated to the tidy up folder on my desktop. But I would really like to make one of these at some point before I leave this mortal coil. It'd be nice. There's twat one. Right. So what would his guy look like? Kind of imagine him to be a bit more kind of, not mean. I want them to be like clueless twats, to be honest. It's kind of knackered. Actually, it can be. Let's be inclusive, shall we? Have a lady boss. Because to be fair, in both of the large entertainment corporations that I've worked for, they have been predominantly female. The staff body, if you will, including upper management as well. So this was about to not be a accurate representation of my time in the world of television. I always struggle putting accessories on the characters on this channel just because of how I set up the mouth and eye line. Putting glasses on someone when their mouth is so close to their eyes always just makes them look really stupid. And it's not like you can set... Well, you could kind of set them there, I guess. But then... Yeah, alright, we'll go for that. Joe Lewis says, thanks for the Christmas card. Yeah, no problem, man. I got a small batch of Christmas cards that I designed with my little pizza guy on and sent them out to my Patreons at the beginning of December. I just thought it'd be a nice little surprise. I want to do like more stuff like that as and when, because like I said earlier, like I want to get some stickers done. I want to get some like little enamel pins, just like little accessories and stuff to go with, you know, just to chuck around. Should have done that as a 4. Fuck. But I'll be sure to send stuff to my patrons as and when it comes through. 4. I just want to make loads of cool shit. I'd really like to do, like, I don't think I'd ever, like, sell it myself, but, I did a design for, like, a pub bench a while ago, and that was really cool. I got to see, like, one of my weird characters just, like, on a pub bench outside the front of a pub, like, on the Thames in London. And it was rad, just kind of like walking past and seeing people sat there on like what was a pretty ghastly looking face. But I'd really like to design a skateboard design. I think that would be fucking cool. Like heroin skateboards or something. Merge layers. My arches are rubbish today. Like, I've literally wasted so much time today redrawing the same arches over and over and over. Need to fix up. 4. There's the snooty bitch's glasses. If you get a 3D model of your character done, my bro has a 3D printer and he could look at printing out some figures. That's rad. Do you know what software you'd need to create the model in for that to work? Because I could do that. Like, you know, I kind of mentioned a minute ago, I want to learn Cinema 4D. I do have kind of like a elementary knowledge of cinema, and I could probably struggle my way through doing a design of Pizza Guy. That would be really cool. Make like little action figure. Oh, just so that everyone's up to date with the Cynic Snacks lore, not LAW, LORE, the Cynic Snacks lore. The people that are hot dogs are dickheads. So whenever I'm drawing someone that's a dickhead, they'll always be a hot dog. And it's not because I don't like hot dogs. There's really no rationale behind it at all. I just designed a bunch of character models, and the hot dog just looked like a dickhead, so and so it shall be. On the front of teaching, I would love to learn how to animate because I've got a little project I want to do, but can't do shit to save my life. Yeah, I'll probably do one. I'm a bit wary of doing too many live streams, because obviously there's going to be a subsection of the subscriber base who just aren't that interested really in this sort of thing. They just want to see the finished product. And I just kind of am a bit wary that if I do too many live streams, it might push people away, which I don't want. So I just worry that if I do something that's too specialist, people might get the hump and leave me. Gonna give a fucking Marge, or is it Lisa? Or do they both have them? Yeah, I think Marge has got a red one and Lisa's got a white one. The fucking little pearl necklace. Hey, hey. Well, hot dogs are dick-shaped, so it makes sense. Yeah, that might have been the subconscious thinking behind it. I love live stream, says Orange Peel, you too. Yeah, like, I enjoy a nice little stream. Actually, like, doing one is a completely different experience, I think, because you have to, like, I don't know, I don't know if it's the same for everyone, but you just kind of end up in this weird headspace. Like, I'm not even really thinking right now. Like, I don't know, I can't explain it, it's a bit weird. Alright, she needs to be maybe like a fur coat or some shit. Just dickhead league. You know? So every food you animate represents something. Kind of. So like, the kinds of food that there aren't really specific to anyone. I mean, I did intend on drawing several pizza characters, but so far, for sake of not confusing anyone, I've just made it so that the pizza is always me. And I think that might stay the case. Whereas the other characters, like Tom, who's the cup, he's a real guy as well. And I think there has been other cups in some of the little shots here and there. There's like a popcorn person, there's an ice cream person, but that's reserved, I guess, too. So I think, yeah, the hot dogs are kind of the enemy, if you like. And there's quite a lot of them. So what songs everyone had stuck in their head today? Mine has been Hit or Miss yet again. That song has been stuck in my head for about 3 or 4 days now, and it's actually driving me insane. I wake up hearing it, and I just hear it intermittently throughout the day. It's almost unbearable. But it keeps cropping back up because obviously it's basically a meme right now. It should be dead by now. Maybe it is dead. I don't know. I've not caught up on my subscriptions. Hopefully people have stopped doing it. So I'm just going to do a quick cheat right about now. I'm just going to grab this. And then flip it. And then erase all this extra shit. Get rid of that. And then stick that here. Look at that fat cat. And then... oh, right. What's going on? Right. Oh shit. I just got a fucking... cool. I just got an ad pop up to me while I'm trying to fucking look at my own chat. That's pretty weird. Surely I can't watch ads on my own content. That's just weird. Just wanted to really quickly jump into the stream and say good job. You definitely deserve it after all the work you've put in. Thank you so much, Solol. I really appreciate that. That's very nice of you to say. You should wake up and then immediately grab a brush and put a little makeup. Yeah, to be fair, I should probably set something a bit heavier as my alarm. Love a bit of System of a Down. That probably snap me straight out of the stupid hit or miss. Oh god, it's just awful. It's such a terrible song. Why do bad songs always get stuck in my head? Hi, Michael Stevenson. Hit or miss will die when TikTok dies also. Nah, I think TikTok's around for a little while at least. It's got a lot of users. Yeah, unfortunately, I think it's here to stay for a while. The stream isn't allowing me to watch it because blah blah blah. Rip, that's too bad. Echo, I think his name is, well, 3CH0 says, thanks for your content and best of luck in the future. Greetings from Krautland. Oh, that's not very PC, but thank you very much. I'll be in Dusseldorf for about an hour in a few weeks. I'm stopping off there to change on a flight. I really like Germany. I learnt German. Well, I'm not very good at it, but my school attempted to teach me to speak German while I was there. Yeah, and I been to Frankfurt before. That was a good time. I'd really like to go to Berlin. It seems really cool. I know a lot of my friends go there and bang on about it all the time. So, what colour hair should this stupid bitch have? I'll let you guys decide. Captain Beardy says, yeah, I learnt French in high school, can't remember a word of it. Honestly, if you... It might not be the same for you, but I'd not spoken German in many, many years. And when I went to Frankfurt, once I was kind of like dropped right in the middle of it and kind of immersed in what was just, overwhelmingly German, it started to kind of just come back to me. And I could just remember little phrases and words here and there. And then after an hour or so, I just started to understand everything. It was really weird. Like, I felt kind of possessed in a way. And I guess maybe I look a bit German because I'd walked into a butcher's and just kind of... No, not a butcher's, a baker's. Such a twat. And just kind of said, like, I want to get this. And then the guy just started full bore just like chatting to me in German, and I had to be like, oh, sorry, I speak little German, I am from England, sort of thing. Was it ich spreche kleine Deutsche, komme ich aus England, or whatever. I always get my word order wrong, so sorry if I fuck that up. It's weird like what you remember. I just remember the most inane, pointless shit, like 9 Uhr hat mein Vater mich geweckt. Danach bin ich in die Küche gegangen, weil es große Hunger hatten. Which means, what is it? 9 Uhr. At 9 o'clock, 9 Uhr hat mein Vater mich geweckt. At 9 o'clock, my dad woke me up, and then I went to the kitchen because I was hungry. Completely useless. Would never need to say any of that stuff ever to anyone. Not applicable. But I'll know it forever. I'll never ever forget that. Gehe ich mit Bus zur Schule? I go on the bus to school. I remember Flugzeug means fly thing, which means aeroplane. Flugzeug. German's funny. Most European languages are pretty funny. They've just got such weird words. And then I remember like Tante Emma Laden. I think that means like corner shop. So pink, purple, green, blue, all three. Unnatural looking red, emo hair colour, stripes, polka dot, ginger. Wait a sec. I'm part German. Yeah, it's because we speak French here in England. I have no need for it. That was beautiful. Wow, useless. Useless, but impressive. Oh shit, Kat's here. Hope everything's good. Loving the channel. Yo, thanks for stopping by, Kat. I hope you're good, man. Obviously not seen you for a while. I left London a few months ago now. I don't know if you're still like at Pilau or anything. I'd really... Oh man, I miss that food. Kat works at the place down the road from where I used to work, and they do kind of like, it's just like Indian street food, and it is just so tasty. And like, I couldn't help it. I'd always end up just going in there on my lunch. Like, I'd always, lunch would be coming up and I'd be like, right, today I'm going to go do something different. I'm going to go try a new place. And I kind of like leave the office, walk down the road a little bit, and I could just see Pilau like, just off the way. And I'd just be like, oh, do you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go Pilau. I must have spent like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pounds in that place. But damn, it was tasty. Good shit. If you're ever in Soho and you fancy some nice Indian street food, they got really good butter chicken, go to Pilau. I swear by it. I lived off that shit for like 2 years. And the people in there are super friendly as well. All I know in German is Das Boot. kind of want to learn Mandarin. Yeah, I think that would be quite useful. A lot of people speak Mandarin. I wouldn't know where to begin. I started to learn a little while ago. I started to learn Japanese because I'd really like to be able to speak it because I'm a massive weeb. But no, in all seriousness, I think it's just like a really cool language. It's just like super difficult though, like craziness. You have to be really dedicated. My friend Matt was like learning it for years and years, and he used to like study every day and still be like, yeah, I suck. But it's definitely something I want to do. I want to be able to do before I'm too old to give a shit anymore. And I just like really like the way it looks. Like their characters are cool. I'm not going to be able to remember any now, am I? I'm just going to remember that one. It was like Soul. There you go, guys. There's your Japanese lesson for the day. There's So. What the fuck else was there? Oh man. There was that one. What was it? Was it Row? And then Ha. Ho. Excellent lessons here. No. Oh, I ain't gonna remember. It's been a long time. And I'm in like stupid stream mode. My brain doesn't actually work properly. So yeah, I didn't actually get a verdict on this hair colour. Cat says, Pilo fucked me over a little bit, but I work at Serial Killer's Cafe at the moment. That's a weird one. Like I never actually been in there, but yeah, it's like a... Is that the place that does like all the American cereals and you just go in and have like breakfast, like a bowl of cereal in the place? There was one of those in Kingston and it closed down. They had like retro video games and cereal and stuff. It was like a pretty cool place to hang out, but they kind of, when your clientele ends up being kind of teenage kids who typically don't have much money, you're not really gonna, you know, it just turned into a bit of a clubhouse and people weren't really spending anything, so it's not an advisable business model, I'd say. Can you cuss in German? I think frichen means to strike. Scheiße. I learnt that from South Park when Cartman's mum's in the fetish porn and she says, "Oh, essen mein Scheiße." And then she says, "Okie dokie then." For the non-Germanic people in the audience, that means eat my shit. Essen mein Scheiße. Maybe because I was a Jehovah's Witness, Mandarin Kingdom. Oh, butter chicken is my shit. Yeah. My work has this taco restaurant nearby that I have to try out. Can you cuss in Zimbabwean? I don't know a single Zimbabwean or Zimbabwean word. I wouldn't have a fucking clue. Tell me some. I want to learn. My mother says Mandarin is easy to speak. Good for her. But it's hard to write. Review bad anime. Oh, that means I've got to watch bad anime. If you've got any recommendations, like drop them in. I'll check it out. I do want to kind of like branch out and do slightly different stuff. But this stack of terrible movies is looming over me. I kind of need to destroy as many of them as quickly as possible. Japan is such an awesome place. Went there for just over a week on a school trip, and I've never felt more at peace anywhere else. That's a really cool school trip. Damn. My school trips were to fucking Hastings. Cool. I don't know what y'all said, but I'm just going to give her fucking purple hair. Soz. there didn't seem to be a consensus amongst you guys of what it should be. So I'll just fucking stick that on there. Oh, twat. There, your glasses. I used to go here. If you want to speak some Mandarin, you can say Bojaku Manan Wuk, my lively flatmate. Oh, okay, that's the Bojaku Manan Wuk. Bojaku Manan Wuk. I wonder what that means. I'm guessing Manan means like me or mine, or to be fair, there's no point even guessing. So far detached from any of the languages that I've learned, I'm just pretty much clueless. You should learn Spanish. It's not so hard and very useful since many people speak it. I did try and learn Spanish for a little while. I downloaded Duolingo, which is kind of like a language app. But the pitfall for me was there were a lot of similarities in the vocabulary with German and French, which were two languages I learnt at school. And I just found it confusing. It was confusing my brain. And I'm sure it's obviously like a much simpler language to learn than Japanese, but when I was learning Japanese, it's so far detached from anything that I knew that I couldn't possibly get it confused with anything else. And so it wasn't triggering off any kind of subconscious things I'd learned or, you know, bad habits from the past. And so in that respect, I found it a lot easier to pick up and get on with. But then I know a tiny bit of Spanish, but not enough to have a conversation. Mandarin has an individual symbol for each word. Yeah, Japanese is like that as well. The kanji, which is essentially an alphabet that they've stolen from China. Lots of like really square and flicky characters. All of the individual kanji all mean a different thing. So like learning it is just ridiculous. Joe Lewis, I want to keep watching, but I have to go to bed so I can wake up and make lots of money for someone else. We'll message you about the 3D printing after I've spoken with my bro if you're interested. Yeah, please, man. That'd be really, really cool. I need to, like, yeah, look into, like, how I do the models and stuff. But that would be rad. Say how these sound look. Can you cuss in American? No, teach me some American cuss words. I always end up getting like a weird like spinal problems when I stream because I've got the mic set up to the right hand side of my computer. And I just like lean right into it. I probably don't need to. I could probably sit back here and talk, and I guess it would still come through. But yeah, am I coming through loud enough? I'm gonna try and sit back rather than like twisting my spine to lean into the mic. So yeah, where is everybody from? Because I remember the last time I went on a stream, there was someone from Hong Kong in the chat, which was just like blew my mind. It's crazy that this whole internet thing, huh? It's really taken off, isn't it? Are you middle-aged? I certainly hope not. I'd say I'm probably, hopefully, only like a quarter of a way through my life. But in all honesty, I didn't actually think I was gonna live this long. I always just had this like weird feeling, like in the back of my mind, like I was probably just gonna die for some reason. And so like I wasn't really that bothered about anything. And then it wasn't until like a few years ago that I was like, oh fuck, I'm still alive. I hadn't actually planned for this. But no, I'm not middle-aged. I hope. I hope I live past my 40s. That would be nice, I guess. Well, it depends I suppose it depends what happens in the world. Maybe I won't want to, but living in some kind of dystopian nuclear wasteland, trading bottle caps for stim packs. You should play Don't Starve together. Yeah, I played the original Don't Starve. I've not played the multiplayer one. I can imagine that it's probably quite frustrating. The single player game is a bastard. Like really such a cruel game. You like spend hours and hours like collecting resources and like building a shelter and starting to build crops and like to prepare for the winter that's coming, and then just some big old creature will come along and just murk you off in one hit, just ruin everything. Then I suppose if you've got a buddy, you can join forces to collect resources. There we go, another one of my excellent lyrics there. So we've got people from America, Chile, Germany, Florida, England, Cardiff, Austria. That's crazy, man. Ah, fuck, I'm still alive. I know the feeling. Maybe we can play together. Yeah, so I'm currently on a really knackered old Mac. Well, it's not even that old, but it is in terms of tech. It's kind of like 4 or 5 year old MacBook, and I struggle to run like Golf with Friends. I don't know if you know that game, but it's not exactly high spec, and my Mac just like properly like freaks out and just can't handle it at all. But I plan on, won't be till the summer, but I'm gonna invest a little bit of money into putting together a nice PC rig and kit it out so that it's good for animation and like just rendering video in general, because it's just takes a lot of power and I want a good setup, so I'm gonna get myself a nice reclining chair, a rad keyboard with some lights on, super cool mouse, you know, all the cool gamer girl peripherals that you'll need. So there we have Dickhead Boss 2. It's way beefier than Boss 1. Boss 2. Oh, Boss 1 doesn't have his teeth in. Shit. Should probably get on that. What else we got? Confused Oddish is calling me a sellout. Yeah, alright, fine. I'll take that. I'll take that hit. It's all part of the natural progression of things. Don't know if I should give him a shine in his eye. I think that's... Okay, so now we need Boss 3, who's going to have to be some cigar-toting asshole, you know? You know the type? Big fatty cigar. So what we got? Cynical Justin's in the chat. Hey man, congrats on being accepted. Thank you very much. I just saw you uploaded a channel update earlier, basically telling everyone that you're gonna be deleting all of your videos. Good on you. You kind of want to take like a bit of a new direction with your content, that's admirable, man. I think it'd be really difficult to make that decision, but I think ultimately, it'll be for the best. You will have thought that through, and like, hopefully you can put out some more bangers like the Godzilla video you did. Very impressive. So... Oh, we've got someone from India in the chat. I think that's probably... Is that the furthest person from me? NY gets the best pizza, and here in the UK we get average pizzas from big chains and crappy all-in-one kebab shops. Yeah, I guess that, as a rule of thumb, that's probably true. There are some good pizza shops in the UK, but typically they're kind of like smaller, kind of independent ones. There's like near where my dad lives, there's this kind of like family-owned little like Italian restaurant, which is like super good, like, you know, old school style. Like the mom is in the kitchen shouting the odds at everyone. The dad's out front kind of hosting, and then the sons are all the waiters, but they're all like proper like mafioso looking dudes. They're all like in their 30s and 40s, just like super hench scary Italian dudes. But they do really good pasta and pizza, and that's in the UK. You just got to go to like the smaller places and not like fucking Papa John's or any of that shit. And Papa John, if you're listening, your pizza sucks, so don't bother coming at me with sponsors or anything, because I'm not taking them. And Domino's, if you're listening, bring back the double decadence, man. That was your best base. Why have you gone and fucking got rid of that? It's the best thing about you. So this motherfucker is going to have a bum chin. Do you know why? Because he is an asshole. And then some fucking good old rolls. Currently playing... Oops, sorry. Lazarus says, currently playing Spyro Reignited because I never played it as a kid. I forgot how hard old games are. Yeah, Spyro is good, man. I Gateway to Glimmer was my #1 honey. You guys in the US would know that as Ripto's Rage, Spyro 2. Fucking awesome game. But yeah, I got Reignited Trilogy as well. Me and Soph play it infrequently. I'd like to play it more. It's just finding the time. Got a lot to do, you know? So this guy's gonna have you... Oh, shit. Your typical receding dickhead hair. Actually, I might give him a little flip. Oh, he looks weird that way around. Just because cigar's going to be on top of that woman's head otherwise. Probably... There we go, that's a bit better. Chips and gravy, poutine, missing out, probably blah blah. Professor Tosspot hair. Okay, yeah, well, yeah, I can see the resemblance, I guess. I did kind of want this to be a comb over, but I wasn't quite sure how to draw it without making it look rubbish. Could probably just give him like a little sweep. You know, kind of like the Homer. Damn, I really need to buy like a new tablet. It keeps doing this shit. Like, I'm drawing like a perfectly normal curve, but for some reason sometimes it just chucks a kink in there and it's really frustrating. It's like the nib of the pen is like worn down because I've used it so much. And it just kind of like chucks in these like random... Bit of a comb over. See, that's the thing. I was kind of... Maybe it'll come through when I colour it, but it kind of just looks a bit like a headphone strap or some shit. I don't know. Right. Kind of get another neck roll here with your button up. And then that can be bursting out there. Ew. He's a proper boy with his fucking tie. Give him braces as well. Looks like my old boss. I feel for you, man. Fucking dickhead boss. Yeah, I should probably have done... Stick a thumb in there. And have that pulling round. So yeah, it's just hitting 2 a.m. for me right now. Guess all you European lot are feeling a similar kind of way. Get me pictures of Spider-Man. Yeah, it does look a bit like Jameson. When will Tom get a girlfriend? I don't know, man. That's entirely up to him. Bum, 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 bum. If anyone would like to volunteer to become Tom's girlfriend, I can pass the message on. What music do you listen to? So quite an eclectic mix of stuff, I guess. Probably the same as anyone. There's only like 2 genres that I won't listen to, and that is electro swing, because it's absolute fucking garbage and shouldn't exist, and disco, just because it's just shit. Don't like it, have never liked it, hate ABBA, hate the Bee Gees, hate all that shit. I can tolerate stuff like Chic and Sister Sledge and that kind of thing. That stuff's alright, but generally speaking, disco can just get fucked. But in terms of what I actually listen to, depends what mood I'm in, really. Sometimes I like to listen to some really heavy stuff. Like, I really like Code Orange. I think they're fucking awesome. I've seen them play live a few times and they tear the place apart. Also listen to kind of like chilled stuff like this. Like I went through a phase of like really enjoying vaporwave stuff. Like I really like Blank Banshee. Blank Banshee's awesome. I managed to pick up all of their albums on vinyl because I'm a huge hipster. So I added that to my collection earlier. Last year now. But yeah, listen to a little bit of hip hop, not too much. I'm not that learned in that respect. Just very standard stuff. I really like. There's a UK grime artist called Slow Tie. He's cool. He's got like a really weird style. He really stands out from the crowd. He's just very kind of like creepy and unnerving and a bit psycho. Like you really wouldn't want to fuck with that guy. Or like, I really like Tyler the Creator. I just think the whole aesthetic of what he's doing is just awesome, and he's really unique. But then, as I said, my knowledge of hip hop is elementary, like not that great at all. I like MF Doom's good. I used to like Kendrick Lamar, but I grew a bit tired of that. I listened to Damn like a million times over and over when it first came out, and now I probably wouldn't put it on for like a good long time. Like I think I overdid it a bit. But typically I like guitar music, kind of like heavier stuff. Used to be quite a big fan of Slipknot, seen them play a few times. Same with System of a Down, seen them play a few times. Actually got to see Linkin Park do their like Hybrid Theory tour thing. That was awesome. Obviously before Chester passed away. It was good to kind of relive like my angsty childhood days. Listening to their like borderline emo stuff. Lazarus says, what the hell is electro swing? You don't even want to know, to be honest, mate. Just forget I even said it. Then most anticipated movie of 2019. Going to be basic and say Avengers. There's quite a few. I wouldn't say it's my most anticipated, but I'm curious to see Detective Pikachu. Because, like, oh, man, I really like Pokemon. I've always really liked Pokemon. It's just nice. And I just really think they're going to ruin it. Or what else we got? Glass looks really good. But I've got a horrible feeling that it's going to really bomb. Just because, like, M. Night Shyamalan is so hit and miss. Hit or miss. I bet you didn't. And so, you know, he did like a few okay films, then he did some pretty good films, then he did some absolutely dreadful films. And, you know, like, I really like Unbreakable. I thought Split was great. Spoiler alert, I really liked the twist that, like, you know, what the hell, that blew my mind. But now that it's like kind of a reality and it's happening, like, I'm just very nervous that it's not going to be good. And fortunately, from the trailers that I've seen, it doesn't really give away much about the movie. I really hope that the shots they've used in the trailer are like just from like the first, you know, hour or half hour of the movie, and there's more going on. Yeah, I'm pretty nervous about that one. There's a lot riding on it being good. What else have we got? Episode 9. Shit, that's going to be interesting to see how J.J. Abrams attempts to regain control of that trilogy. What an absolute mess that is, just having like two completely contradicting ideas in succession with one another. I just don't know what he's going to do in that position, because he can either essentially just go along with all this new direction that Ryan Johnson's put forward, and just kind of try and bring it to some kind of logical conclusion. But that would require him to swallow a lot of pride. Or he might just do like another complete 180 on it and just go over everything that Johnson did. I don't know. That one's going to be a nightmare. But I'm excited to see it, and I'm excited to witness the backlash, the fan outrage that will inevitably ensue. You can't please everyone, and so there's just going to be a group of very angry people. Yeah, regardless of what decisions you make, you're going to upset people. You know, if you play it safe, they'll moan that, you know, oh, it's too much like the originals. You haven't done anything different. And then if you change too much, people are saying that, like, you're just smashing conventions for the sake of it, and it's not true to the source material. It's like, fucking, what can you do? It's just like an impossible juggling act. I'm not envious of his position at all. James Moore says, my taste in music is basically the Fallout New Vegas soundtrack. That's fair enough. Wait, I just need to refresh my memory on that one. Fallout. I've not played New Vegas for like maybe 15. How long's it been? Like 12 years? When did it come out? Oh, it's been 9 years. What was that soundtrack like? I really don't remember. Setting New Vegas soundtrack. Was it just kind of like the old like 40s, 50s stuff? Oh, okay, there we go. Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra. Okay, yeah. I get you. Yeah, nice stuff. Do you like shoegaze? Says Slappy Zalex. Yes, I do. I very much. I went and saw My Bloody Valentine play at the Hammersmith Apollo, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and that was the loudest noise I've ever heard in my entire life, and will ever hear in my entire life, because my hearing is now irreparably damaged because of how loud that gig was. It was insane. Like, when we were going in, they were giving out earplugs to everyone, just being like, hey, here, take these, put these on. And I just kind of scoffed, like, yeah. And then they were like, no, take them. Everyone has to take one. And I was like, okay, whatever. And I put mine in my pocket and just kind of stood there and just thought, you know, I'm an invincible guy. I can handle a bit of noise. Psh, what's this going to be about? Literally, within about, I'd say, 3 seconds, I was like shoving them in my ears. It was so fucking loud. Like, just the whole back of the stage was just a wall of amplifiers. Like, it looked like something out of a comic. It was ridiculous. And just the fucking noise of it, man. It was insane. Like, you could feel like your guts vibrating with the loudness of the guitar sounds coming from the stage. And if you guys aren't familiar with My Bloody Valentine, don't go with your first gut instinct there. They're not, I'm not saying bullet for My Valentine. It's not some like shitty emo rock stuff. This is like proper like grown-up music. They got an album called Loveless that came out in like 92, I want to say. I'm not sure. Probably one of my favourite albums of all time. just the layers of sounds and just like the musicianship of it all. 1991 it was, November 1991. It's just genius, like absolutely genius. Brutally loud, as I said. And like other shoegazy stuff, like there's a more recent band. They're from Canada, I believe, called Cheetahs. They've had a couple of albums out. They are really good. They played in Kingston when I was there, and I was kind of not working in the biz because that sounds really like knobby, but I was gainfully employed working with musicians at the time, and I did some photos for them and got to chat to them afterwards. They were like really, really nice guys. Hung out a little bit after their set, had a beer. But they're really cool. They're called Cheetahs. If you're into kind of like droney, depressing music, I'd recommend you check them out. Seeing Lincoln must have been pretty bomb. Yeah, man, that was just so overwhelming. Like, because obviously Hybrid Theory came out. I was super young. I remember like I was at football practice, and this kid I used to play football with called Jamie had just come back from his holiday in America. And he was like super excited about this like music, just being like, dude, like the whole way through practice. He was like, dude, you got to check this music out, man. You got to check this out. You got to check this out. And I remember like me, my dad, him and his dad all sat in his like little car, like his dad's car after football practice. And they put the CD of Hybrid Theory on, and we all listened to it together. And it was like the first time me and my dad had heard it. And like, I'd never heard like Screamo before. It was my first ever like experience with like that kind of music. And like, I liked heavy rock stuff, I guess. Like my dad listens to a lot of, you know, like good instrumental, like good band music basically. And we were just sat in the car, like, and it just fucking blew me away, man. Like, and I was immediately hooked. I was like, it was just like the most insane thing I'd ever heard. And then like roll on me becoming like a fucking little emo-y fag for like years. But yeah, so like I went to go see them. They did like a Hybrid Theory tour. It was a couple of years ago now. I forget exactly when. But like, so it'd been a long time since I'd bothered listening to them, just purely because after Meteora and like Reanimation was good, I guess. Okay, no, well, I'm rambling now, but like, so like Hybrid Theory was really good, Meteora was really good, Reanimation was okay. Like, I wasn't into that sort of thing at the time, but listening to it back as an adult, I can appreciate it. Collision Course was cool. The little like 4-track mashup they did with Jay-Z. Like, that was decent. But then after that, they did like an album, I think it was called like Minutes to Midnight or something. And then after that, I couldn't even tell you what the albums are called, because it was just like, holy shit, they have gone to hell. And they're just bad. Just bad. Just didn't like any of their stuff. I don't know whether it was like they got bad or I grew out of it, or I don't know, because I still like Hybrid Theory and I still like Meteora. But then it's hard to separate what's nostalgia and what's good. But yeah, anyway, seeing them live was just nuts, just bringing back all the memories of like you listening to them as a kid. I remember I used to have Hybrid Theory and Meteora saved onto my original Xbox, and that was like the first games console where you could save music to the console and have it playing while you were playing games. And I used to play State of Emergency, which is like an old Rockstar game where you basically just smash up a mall and just murder loads of people. It's a fucking rad game. If that came out today, it would be like insta-banned. But I think they made a sequel as well, which didn't do very well, but I don't really remember playing it all that much. But yeah, so it just brought back memories of just like being a kid. So I was there with like hundreds of thousands of people, listening to them play Hybrid Theory all the way through. Like, everyone knew all the words, everyone was going crazy. Like, it was just such a great atmosphere. Just like really emotional, really just fun, like really fun time. And it really, I think it helped a lot as well that they were great. They were a great live band. Like, just fucking fantastic performances all round from everyone. Yeah. Captivating. I think aside from... Just trying to think who else was, like, incredible that I've seen. Slipknot are a really good live band. Orange Peel U2 says, I searched some electro swing and I fucking hate it. Oh, so bad. Shout on the Xbox original. Yeah, the Xbox was cool, man. I remember there's a kid in my class at school. His name was Chris. And again, it's the same shit. Like, just he had been on holiday in the States. I've never been to the States, by the way. I'd love to go. I've never been able to afford it. I'm stuck on this rock. Yeah, he'd been to America. He'd brought back an Xbox with him, and he had a copy of Halo. And again, he was just like banging on, like, dude, you need to play this game. It's incredible. It's amazing. And like, I went around his house. I think we were supposed to be at school. Like, we go to like play rugby, but we'd just like sack it off, say we forgot our kit, and then just like not go and do it. Yeah, we sacked it off, went to his house, and he was playing Halo. And, like, it was just insane. Like, I'd never seen the graphics. I'd never seen anything like that before. It was just nuts. And then immediately was just converted into an Xbox kid. But then that was just such a great generation of consoles. Like, the PS2, I think, is probably the best games console of all time. Just in terms of, like, the titles that it's got. Like, a crazy lineup of amazing games. But then the Xbox One, just in terms of its functionality and what it really did, like, it raised the bar quite substantially for game consoles and, like, functionality and accessibility and, like, all the different shit that you should be able to do. And then obviously with, like, Xbox Live and blah blah blah. But yeah. So then going into the next generation, I kind of took a pass on the PS3 and got a 360, which was the correct choice to make for that gen. Just because, like, the Xbox 360 was fantastic. Absolutely loved playing, like, Halo 3. Wasted many, like, a disgusting amount, like, at hundreds of hours. Probably thousands. I don't even know. But I had, like, several accounts, several Xbox Live accounts that were ranked up to general, which is ridiculous. I think it's like you have to win like 5,000 games or something outrageous like that to get to the general rank. And I had at least 2. I think I had another Brigadier that I was ranking up at before it kind of all faded away, but they were the good days, good old days. Halo 3. But then this gen, I went with PS4. Again, just for the titles, like, at the time, what did I want when it came out? Like, I wanted to play Shadow of Mordor, but that was across both. There was something exclusive that I wanted for the PS4. I can't remember exactly. Oh no, I'm lying. I'm completely lying. So I went into the game store. I was set on getting an Xbox One. Because I had 360, and obviously, like, got all my gamer score and all of my saves, like all of my downloads and shit. And I went into the game store, and the guy wouldn't let me buy an Xbox One. And I was arguing with him for like 20 minutes. And he was like, no, dude, trust me, you need to get the PlayStation. Like, you know, the online's free because it was at the time, blah, 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 all this other shit. And he convinced me, and I thought, do you know what, fuck it. Like, if he's wrong, I can just bring it back and just swap it and then call him a prick and whatever, be done with it. But I'm so glad that he convinced me into doing that. Like, the PS4's fucking awesome. And then, like, I didn't have PS3 properly. Like, I bought one a bit later on, like, secondhand, just so I could play Metal Gear 4. But then I got to play Last of Us, which I'm really happy I did, because that game was just fucking great. What a great story and what a great experience that was. Best PS2 game, Destroy All Humans 2. Yeah. I don't know if I played the sequel. I definitely had Destroy All Humans, but I think I had it on Xbox. That was pretty rad. That was a pretty rad game. And then Bloodborne, yeah, Bloodborne is sick. I really like that game. It's like one of the only games ever that actually like scared me. Apart from like Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. When I got Nemesis on PS1, that game fucking scared me loads. Like, shit me up. But yeah, Bloodborne. Scary. Like, really scary. Just like shit chasing after you that you probably shouldn't be fighting because it's just going to like ruin your day. Dodge rolling to oblivion. Last of Us is amazing. Yeah, it is really good. I'm excited for part 2. I hope. Well, I've got no doubts at all that Naughty Dog will absolutely smash it. They're just such a fantastic game studio, and they have been since the very beginning. I really liked the Uncharted series. I played through. Thing is, like, I was really late to it because, like, as I said, I only really got my PS3 to play Metal Gear, so I missed Uncharted 1, 2, and 3. So when A Thief's End was coming out, I went and got the Nathan Drake collection and played through them all. And when you play through like 3 full games in a series in tandem, it does get a bit tiring because they're quite similar. So by the time I came to play A Thief's End, like, I didn't even finish it. Like, I appreciate it, I get it. It looked fantastic, it played well. It's a good game, but I was just fucking bored by this point. Just really fucking bored of Nathan Drake just being that guy, causing people stress. So here's the bosses. Boss 1. See, I really enjoyed Fallout 3 and was super stoked for New Vegas. And I remember I got it when it came out, and it just felt, something about it didn't feel right. Just the way it handled didn't feel right. And then I got screwed over, basically, because I didn't have multiple save files. I was running around the wasteland. And like back in those days, like coming out the tail end of just playing like Oblivion, where I just run around and jump everywhere. And so in Fallout 3, my tactic for traversing the landscape was essentially just to run at the side of a cliff and jump until you eventually kind of like cheese your way up it, rather than going the long way round. But there were a lot of rocks and surfaces in New Vegas that had no like physical attributes. And so you'd like walk straight up to them and just pass through the object and then get stuck. And I got hit with an autosave when my guy was like waist deep in a bunch of rocks and couldn't get out. And like, no matter, I was like crouching, jumping, punching, trying to like mashing all the buttons like crazy, and I was just stuck. So I like turned it off, turned it on, loaded back up, and boop, you're in the rock. And it just ruined my save. And I was like, do you know what? I cannot be fucked to do that again. So I just gave up on it. So my experience with New Vegas wasn't great. While I was playing it, I did enjoy it, but that just took the cake for me. Okay, oh, I've accidentally drawn a dot on Matey Boy's head. So that's the bow. Oh, that's the bow. Bows. The boss. And then the bosses, the bosses. The boss's boss. Yo, any of you guys want to fancy joining the Discord server? We got a good group of peeps in there now. Just sharing memes, chatting shit. It's quite a good crack in there. So if any of you want to like hit it up, if you go to my 2018 video, there's a link in the description there to join the Discord server. Come and join us and have a jolly old time. Boss, right. So that's done. Now I need to do the no because no. Have you played Witcher? Yeah, I had like I really want to put some time aside at some point, hopefully soon, hopefully before Cyberpunk comes out, where I can actually sit down and play through The Witcher 3 properly, because The Witcher 3 was my first experience with any Witcher game. I didn't know what to expect. I'd just come off the back of playing maybe Dark Souls 3, maybe Bloodborne, I can't remember, but basically just like a heavy, hard RPG game. And I was just feeling pretty invincible, like, yeah, that was tough, I can pretty much beat anything. Didn't know what to expect from The Witcher, so I bought The Witcher 3, started it up, picked hard straight away, because I was like, yeah, I can do this, and was just so overwhelmed by it all. Like, the first, 4 hours of gameplay is just teaching you all of the different sub-menus, mechanics, sub-mechanics, side game. Like, it's so crazily big. Like, sorry, I just need to sketch some stuff out quick. I was just so overwhelmed, and then I was like trying to do a really early on mission, and I was just getting my ass handed to me over and over again, and it kept it defeated me, and I was like, I can't be fucked with this. So like I said, I'd just come off the back of I think I must have been playing Bloodborne, just come off the back of just getting brutally beaten by that, and then just immediately got into another really difficult game, and I just thought, fuck this, I'm just gonna give it a miss. So I packed it in, but I do want to go back to it, because quite a few of my friends just go on about it all the time. They're constantly telling me you have to play it, and I know I do. So I do want to try and get my head around it at some point. It's just time. It's time consuming. That's the only thing. And right now, all I really want to do ever is make videos. And so whenever any free time I've got, I'll ideally be writing a script, animating something, you know, like working, like doing some research. Like this is just what I want to do with my time. This is my recreation now. Like I said a little bit earlier, like all my stuff's like pretty much still packed away in boxes, because I moved away from London a few months ago, and I've not got a place to live yet. So I've just been staying with like friends and family and what have you for the time being. But all I've got is my Switch. So I've basically just been playing loads of Rocket League, which is just it's just shit. Like, I really don't want to, but it's the only kind of gaming I can get in. But I got Smash Bros Ultimate the other day, so I've been playing that and getting to grips with that, and that's pretty decent. So I need to get the perspective on this. So, The Witcher Now Airing is saying The Witcher 3 is the best experience I ever had in a game. It's worth every minute, and the DLCs are even better than the main game. That's funny because many people complain how easy it is at times. I love the story and the characters, not so much the gameplay. Yeah, because I think that was kind of what I struggled with. Is like I just come from Bloodborne, where the combat is super tight, and The Witcher felt really kind of like laborious. Like, you do an input and then he'd like swing. Like, obviously I know they're going for realism, but I'd come from just this like hyper fast, like hyperactive game, and now was playing this very kind of like real laborious slog. And I don't know, it was the wrong time for me. Bosses, bosses, boss. Bosses, boss. I don't know if I want to try and get into this next drawing or not. I'm feeling pretty wiped. Get into the Breach for Switch. It's a quick turn-based strategy. Okay, I'll check it out. I think I've got some credit on my like little store account, because like whenever you buy new Switch games, you get like a certain little like reward, and it saves up like a balance for you, so you can buy more games, which is pretty sweet. And like, I've been through quite a lot of Switch games recently. Like, I had Pokemon Let's Go, I had Dark Souls Switch, but cheekily, I kind of like buy games, play them, finish them quite quickly, and then go and trade them in. But you can still, obviously, like when you're buying them, collect your like Nintendo points. So I've been like kind of scamming the system a little bit. I'm a badass motherfucker, that's why. Such a criminal. Do you ever like to draw on paper more than digitally sometimes, or just digital? I've not done it for ages because, like, as I said a minute ago, like, I don't have a home. I'm just kind of like staying with family and friends. But like back when I was living in my home, I had like an art room basically, where I set up a desk and I've got like all my paints and pens and pencils and like loads of fucking like hundreds of different types of paper and just all these like random art supplies and shit that I've just collected over the years. And I kind of like to just sit in there and mong out and just make stuff. Because I like doing kind of like claymation stuff. I like building, sculpting, painting, just anything. But obviously, because I'm just like staying at other people's houses, I can only really just like set up my little. I've got like a laptop, a graphics tablet, and a mic, and some hard drives, and then I just kind of work out of a rucksack, basically. Yeah, I'm not feeling this hand drawing. I'll do that another time. Swathes of clueless twats. Paper. Paper. How do you say it differently? Paper. Got lots of paper. I'm just trying to remember what else I needed to do. Oh yeah, I was talking about good old Halo 3 days. Here we go. So I actually talk about that in my next video. I used to lug my Xbox and my TV down the road. Watch Doghouse. Yeah, I've seen Doghouse. I've seen that film many, many years ago. It's fucking rubbish. To my friend's house with Danny Dyer in is always going to be questionable. Apart from one movie, I do need to watch it again now to solidify my opinion. But there was a movie called Severance, which had Danny Dyer in it, which was about like an office trip. There were just like some, I can't remember what business it was, but there was just a group of people that worked in an office together, and they go on a trip to like Ukraine or somewhere. And there's basically just like a horrible murderer who's ripping people to shreds. And Danny Dyer's this kind of just this like wide boy, just gangstery dickhead type, just his typical typecast. But he takes a bunch of magic mushrooms on the coach on the way to this trip because he's like, oh, you know, work trips are super boring and whatever. And yeah, and it turns out it isn't super boring, and it ends up being pretty brutal. But that was a good one. Ariam says, I love your work, man. You are seriously one of the most underrated channels on YouTube. That's very lovely of you to say. Thank you very much. We are slowly amassing. Hopefully, because that's kind of the goal, I guess, is to like try and reach a point where I can feasibly support myself from making stuff. And if that's not necessarily strictly through this channel, but, you know, working with other people, like, I really, well, I've been talking to a few other people, but I want to try and get just some work editing for other channels. Because I've been working in broadcasting for a few years, and it's just like, it's just out of touch, man. It's really difficult. Like, you have very little creative control over what you do, which is very depressing. And generally, like, all the people that are at the top making the executive decisions are the most ill-informed and out-of-touch people that you could hope to meet. And I don't know. I want to work somewhere to do with new media, so I'm gonna pick up a bunch of just like freelance graphic stuff, just doing like making assets for like companies, social media and shit, just like little animated things for like Instagram and Twitter and whatever, blah blah blah, just for like just sort of like a quick little bit of money, so I can then carry on spending time working on my own content, because this is what I want to do. Like, this is what I want to do with my life, and it kind of always has been. But like, there's always, I don't know, whenever I've heard other YouTubers talking about the potential of taking on YouTube full time, all I've ever heard is like, oh, you know, it doesn't really happen how you think it would. It's not like, don't ever bank on it, blah blah blah. But I don't know. Like, I feel like there's enough of a point of a difference between what I make and what I do to a lot of other successful channels, that it just feels like what I'm making should technically work to a larger audience. I just feel like there's definitely enough people out there that would appreciate and enjoy what I make to be able to reach the point that I want to reach, basically. It's just going to take time, and it's going to be hard work, and I'm fully prepared to do that. Like, it's all good. I just hope that you know, I don't have to stop to like just like on the financial side of things, essentially, because, you know, it's not that great and it takes a lot of time to make content, like, at least the way I do it anyway, because I'm my own worst enemy. I could have just made my style a lot simpler and, you know, whatever, but then I wouldn't be satisfied with what I was creating, so it's kind of a balance, I guess. And it's crazy as well, like, when I made the first video, the whole idea was like, I should be able to repurpose some of the things that I'm creating. And so, you know, the idea of just like some shots could get reused or some animations could get reused, and eventually it would make the whole process a lot easier. And that just has not been the case at all. If anything, it's become more complicated with every single video, and it's taken even longer, and yeah. But then that's just me making... I don't know, I just do what feels right at the time. Sorry, this drawing isn't very interesting. I just thought... it's just like a bunch of fucking squares. Yeah, this was my buddy Jacob, his bedroom, where we'd go and set up... Fuck, I really need to start labeling stuff in this comp. Yeah, I'd like lug my TV down to his house, set up, and all play like online Halo and just obliterate everyone. Like, I'm pretty good at Halo, but Jacob was just like another level. Like, he was insane. So he pretty much, we'd all do well up until like the high 40s, and then when we were like breaching level 50, he'd be doing that, like, lots of the hard work. but we did it. Made quite a good like living as well from it. Well, not really a living, like we were only young, but we used to like I had a bunch of code to create like 48-hour Xbox Live trial accounts, and basically we just make like a dummy account with like a random name and play on it for the weekend. Like we'd all have new accounts, we'd play on them for the weekend and rank them up to level 50, and then once they hit 50 we'd stop playing and then just sell them, like sell the account details. And more often than not it would just be for like Microsoft points, which is kind of just like a online like Microsoft currency. And so I had like on my 360 I had every indie game from the marketplace. Like it's literally like hundreds of thousands of Microsoft points from just like boosting accounts to 50s and then flogging them to casual kids. Those were the good days. Oh, Esther, thank you so much. And thanks for sticking with me as well. You're one of the original OG crew. It's in the middle of the night here, almost time for breakfast. Yeah, I need to like stop in a minute. It's getting super late. So I always do this, like I always stay up far too late, and then it means I wake up late the next day, and then it means I don't have a productive day. So I need to like, I set an alarm, like an early alarm today, and force myself to get up, and I think I just need to do that again tomorrow. So I need to be productive. I've got a lot of filming to do for this next video. There's like quite a few sections that are like on with camera. So table 1. But then I suppose I need to wait for the sun to go down for that sort of thing anyway, so I can light everything properly. But yeah, I've got so much to do for this next video. It's crazy. Like I don't know if I can even share. Oh, it's not even open. I could probably try and share my this might mess the stream up, we'll see. I'm going to try and share my Premiere project. You guys can get like a little sneak peek if it will work. No promises. Yeah, Esther, Imgur squad. That is a testament to your membership, I guess, in that like I've not posted anything to Imgur for like well over 6 months. I kind of gave up. Okay, so I'm going to try and add. This might be an absolute nightmare, so bear with me for 1 sec. Premiere. Okay. So I guess I can just do that. So this is the project so far. The next video that I'm working on, it's looking like at the moment it's around the 20-minute mark. I might have to like cut some of it down and like throw some of these bits away. For those of you who don't know what's going on, like all this row here of green stuff is all VO, so all like lines that I've spoken in VO and then cut up and thrown together, and that kind of like makes the foundation for the video is just kind of like the script that's read out. A lot of it's rough and you kind of put it there for pacing, and then once you use that to line the clips up. When the clips are aligned, you can go back and re-record the VO and make it a bit nicer. Lazaru 101, light everything properly. Wouldn't lighting be better at midday, or am I retarded? Well, basically, if you're depending on daylight when you're filming, the color temperature of sunlight is constantly changing because of the clouds, the atmosphere, just general stuff in the world. And so if you're editing two shots together and you make a cut, there's going to be a noticeable skip in the kind of the brightness or the color temperature of that shot, and it makes the edit really obvious and horrible. You can obviously deal with that by, you know, color correcting or, you know, adjusting like brightness and stuff like that. But it's just a lot of hassle, and it's much easier if you can completely manipulate and control the light source. You get a constant color temperature and a constant brightness. So I've got like these two studio lights that I bought years ago, when I started my own like little productions. So whenever there's any, apart from a couple of outdoor shots that I've done when I got like a horse to like kick something, I usually set up like a 3 or 2 point lighting setup to do anything, which is kind of overkill because most of the time I'm just filming a close-up of my hand holding a DVD case, but I don't know, I just like to do everything properly, so it's quite time consuming. I should probably cut some corners, but I think overall it would have an effect on the quality of what I do, and I'm kind of happy with where things are at, and I'm going to like try and improve on it. But yeah, that's a really long-winded answer to that question, is yes, you are retarded. Indigo says, good night, man. Also, I love your channel, dude. Thank you very much. You guys are all super nice. Oh yeah, I forgot. Fucking, we're on Premiere. So, I don't know how well this is going to work. I'm going to stop the music for a sec. So this next video that I'm working on is the 6K subscribers Q&A. I'm just going to try and play a little bit of it now and see how it works. Let me know, just anyone let me know in the chat if it's like the audio's coming through okay and like the picture's okay. Let's have a see. Okay, yeah, the audio is not coming through. It'll be my Premiere settings, won't it? So, preferences, audio, audio, device control, no. Play, no, where's output? Fuck, don't know what I'm doing. Audio device. Okay, no, I don't want to start messing with things. That's really frustrating. Yeah, I don't know how to set up the audio on this for it to play through the stream. Well, that's quite sad. Sorry, guys. Oh, Chrissy Diggs is here. Hey, Chrissy. Just having some like technical goofs and gaffs. The audio from my Premiere timeline isn't playing back through the stream, because Premiere, just the way my Premiere is set up is it plays out through a separate. Yeah, I don't want to change anything because I won't be able to fix it back again. Never mind, dudes and dudettes. I'll just scrub through it quick. Oh well, never mind. You guys can just wait until the video's done. But yeah, basically, so if we're just looking at this timeline here, this is the whole duration. There's just a huge chunk here that I'm missing. A chunk here. I've got to do all the end board and everything. Another little chunk, little chunk, little chunk. I think like, and this is like days and days and days of work has gone into doing all this. already. Just like all the individual little animations and drawings and shit. But then a lot of the stuff that's missing is going to be filmed, so it's a reasonable way to bulk out kind of runtime. If you know what I mean, without having to animate individual frames, you can just like film some stuff and leave it rolling. I've done a little bit of filming already, which is somewhere over here. Yeah, just talking about like, so this video is basically about like my experience, where I've come from, things that I've done, jobs, and then why I started a YouTube channel, the decisions I made in creating it, how I've created it, the inspirations behind it, motivations, then the actual process itself and like how I do things. It's kind of like a big, it's the Q&A video, so I answer I think I answer all of the questions that I got asked. I've tried to like string them into a narrative, and then I'll put the music back on because this thing's not working. Yeah, so it's kind of like a big behind the scenes type dealio. Yeah, hopefully you guys will enjoy it. It's not a typical video. Won't be getting, so like season 1 of Junk Film Reviews done now. So it was like the 5 main episodes and then the 6th bumper episode, which was like the end of year special. I think I'm going to keep that format for all seasons moving forward, and having like 5 or 6 core Junk Film Review videos and then 1 bumper finale at the end of the season. Because then I cover about 10 or 11 movies in each season, which I think's okay. I'd like to obviously do a lot more, but it's just like the amount of time it takes to produce the videos is ridiculous. And right now, I kind of, yeah, until I can find a way to support myself through the content that I'm making, it's always going to have to be like a secondary thing. I want it to be primary. And for a little while it kind of has been, while I've been moving out of my house and stuff like that. Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, anyway, I'll stop flexing this. Oh man. So, Nick Palladino says, "Love your vids. You're the definition of hidden gem," and he give me a little super chat of $2. That's super nice of you, Nick. Thank you so much. Yeah, I am a hidden gem, aren't I? I think I'm gonna sack off this Premiere thing. I'm a bit disappointed that didn't work. So sorry to waste your time, everyone. Gonna delete that. Yeah, and this drawing itself is like super boring, so I'm not gonna do that. That's just, again, that's kind of like the next angle. So you've got this angle here with my TV set up on the box with the Xbox underneath, and then it pulls around to this angle, which is front on, where you see like the Halo footage. And I managed to dig out, so I was like, when I was gathering all of my footage and clips for this video, I managed to dig out some old Halo 3 replays. This shit is from like so long ago, man. Let me have a look. When was it? Yeah, I managed to find some actual replays of me playing and doing like awesome shit. Eat Halo, CRSUB. 10 years ago, Jesus. And that's when it was uploaded to YouTube, so the actual clips themselves were probably like 11 years ago. Man, what happened? Where did the time go? So yeah, it's like I managed to pull up some badass clips of me being really good at Halo to use in this next video. Just to kind of weird flex, you know, but okay. I kind of a few more of like the other little projects that I've started and never finished, and at one point I'm not actually mentioning it in the video anymore. I've cut it out just because the duration's already getting really long and it was just opening up a whole door to another bunch of shit. But it was like maybe like a year ago, maybe a little bit longer. No, it was about a year ago. I started to teach myself to code C++ because I really wanted to make my own like old school like 2D game, and I got really into it. And I think the game was in like its 3rd iteration, and I just like really bossed just like the like control mechanics. And I was like writing all my own like original code and stuff, and it was just like it was just such a cool experience. But I burnt out pretty bad because I just got obsessed with it, and I was doing it like every spare second I had. I was like reading it up, watching a tutorial, editing stuff. Like it was just constant. And because I always end up being like a one-man band, I was doing like all the sprite design, all the level design, all of the back-end coding, all of it, everything. And just like I think it was just I just took on too much. I was trying to do too much all at once. But I was like super excited about it, like really into it and just loving it. But yeah, I just burnt out, and then I've not picked it up again for like a year. But I will come back to it because it's a game I've always wanted to make, and I will do it one day. I just need the time. Yeah, so that doesn't feature in this video, but I might include it later on and show some bits. It's just like a cool like Metroidvania style like 2D shooter game essentially. But the whole deal with it is like you have a revolver, so you've got 6 bullets, and the whole point of it is like essentially just being badass accurate with your gun, because whenever you're reloading you're like super vulnerable. And so it's all about like timing and precision, and then like getting sick ass combos, kind of a little bit inspired by like Devil May Cry, but not quite as kind of hectic and overwhelming. And then yeah, I like it. I like it. Of course I fucking like it. It's mine. Chrissy Diggs with a sweet donation, $4.99. You'll get there. You're too talented not to. Keep at it, my boy. Thanks, Chrissy. You too. Again, guys, you probably know Chrissy by now if you like chilled in my stream before. But she's just started up a YouTube channel doing kind of like, I guess just like, they're not tutorials per se, but just like draw along type things. But she's super talented. It's called Challenge Accepted, and the channel's called Diggs. I'm subscribed to it. I don't know if you can see my subscriptions, but you might be able to find it through there, or if Chrissy wants to just like chuck a link in the chat, you guys should go subscribe to her. She's just really talented illustrator. Her style's really cool. Right, it's 3 AM, so bedtime. You're an amazing man. We love you. Because I'm playing Don't Starve together while watching your stream, what world should I make? Like, how many types of monsters should be in the world than that? What do you think I should make for this world? I did some C# coding, very helpful for Unity as well. Yeah, so it was Unity that I was using. Again, I don't know if I can launch... Wait, let me save all this stuff. Oh god, here we go. Open up a fucking can of worms. Where do I save stuff to? Eggs books. Boss. File. Save. Boss. So I think I've still got, so I created this, just this chamber basically where I could test out the control mechanics. I think I still got that on this machine, so I can try and launch that. Right, bear with me one sec. I'm going to try and... I can't even remember what to do. Maybe I should just launch Unity. It might still be in there. This is you're all going to be like really underwhelmed now when I show you this. I don't even know if it's like all on here. Okay, so if I do Unity, okay. Cool. So this is just like my little testing area that I built while I was like figuring out how to design like the controls. Is the animation actually... Oh, you're just getting a still frame. No! Oh, that's so annoying. Oh, man. Oh, no, wait. It is... Oh, no, wait. It is working. It just stops playing when I click onto OBS. Okay. Okay, cool. So, yeah, basically... This is obviously very early stages, but I was, like... figuring out the different like animations and stuff so that like when you jump and then fall, the cape like goes up and then comes down, and then the smoke trail from his pipe like moves. The thing that took the absolute longest amount of time was when you like aim up and past halfway, his arm flips so that the gun is on the correct side of his hand. Which that in code was that, like, it doesn't even look that impressive. It's just one small action, but that was a pain in the ass to write. But then another thing is the gun is in his left hand, and so when he turns, his left hand should be on the other side of his body. So I had to write another script that basically reads and writes the layer position of his hand so that it's always on the correct side of his body. So that when you're facing this way, you punch, because his right hand is metal, so he's got kind of like a decent melee. So when you're facing that way, you got a punch, and when you're facing that way, you've got a different punch. And then you got like an uppercut, which I just fucked up. And then like you can fire 6 bullets, and you've got your kind of like HUD up the top corner that keeps record of that, and then obviously it clicks out, and then when you reload it drops the shells out and you fix them. I wanted to add like another mechanic, kind of like in Gears of War, where you have like an active reload style, not like a quick time game. It'll be the same buttons every time, but it's kind of like a little rhythm that you can get into to reload quicker just by being a bit more skilled. And then also like different animations for like walking and running. But yeah, this is like the start of the game that I wanted to make, basically. And I wanted to have like different ammo types that have like kind of like an elemental effect and affect enemies in a different way. And one of the main features of that is like, say you're shooting an enemy with the type of ammo that is ineffective against them, it will basically just enrage them. So you've always got to like be mindful of like who you're shooting and what you're shooting, and switching out your ammo types to fight the right kinds of enemies. But then also I wanted to do like tiered enemies, so like a big mech would come at you, and its like outer armor would require kind of like maybe an like ice damage to break it down, but then its core is like a completely different thing, and there's lots of like visual cues and suggestions as like how to defeat all the different enemies. But yeah, so this is just like, this was just me running all of the different control scripts and trying to like make the player character just work. I wasn't too focused on designing the levels at this point. This was just making the character work how I wanted it to. Yeah, so I haven't added anything to this for like a year, which is sad. Oh yeah, and then another thing was, so this guy that you are, he's basically just like a spirit, if you like. And he takes on the form of whatever mask he wears. It's like a little bit inspired by like Spirited Away. But he has these like ornamental masks that you can like take off and put on, and you basically assume a different I don't know, what's the word, physique, depending on what mask you have on. So there was like, yeah, whatever. But yeah, I want to come back to this one day and actually like work on it and get it working. One of the weird things I had, so originally when I was doing like the bullets, these shell casings here, I gave them like actual physicality, because I thought it would be a cool, like, could potentially be like a cool puzzle mechanic if you could use your empty shells to do something. But in the end it just ended up fucking up all of the physics, because you just end up with like a shitload of shell casings everywhere that have a physical presence, and when you run over them it was just sending everything flying into the air and like shooting stuff through the floor, and it was just absolute chaos. So I had to only make them physical in terms of like gravity, but not in terms of the player character, because it was just fucking nightmare. And that was one of the things I learned like when I just the little bit of coding I did with Unity, is like every time you have like an idea and you're like, cool, how can I implement this? And you think it's just all problem solving basically, and you try and think, right, here's the rules that we need, this is how we apply them, this is how it's going to work. You type it out how you think it is, run the thing, and it's just fucking chaos. Everything goes wrong. And then it's a case of like basically damage control and being like, right, how do I fix these 1 million problems that I just made by adding one simple little line of code that did one basic thing. But I'm making it sound not fun. I really, really enjoyed the challenge of it, and just like, no, it's just not like anything I'd done before, basically. Anyway, that's enough of this. I don't even know if you guys were even interested about that, but whatever. That's just one of the things that I was working on that I never got done. So what we got? My brother can code. He's doing Unity, I think. I might have to buddy up with your brother then and get him to help me. James Moore, going back to broken saves, I have to delete my 24 hours save file on Subnautica because I'm stuck in a wall and it only has a single save file. Oh my god. That is such a nightmare. I don't understand all this single save file bullshit. Like, it always just causes issues. I remember the first time it ever really affected me was when I was playing like Pokemon Blue, like way back in the day, and my little brother had started a new game on my cartridge, picked just like Bulbasaur or some shit, and done like literally just left Pallet Town and then just saved over like 200 hours of my Pokemon Blue, and I'd like caught like pretty much the whole Pokedex. I trained my team up like super high level. I beat the Elite Four like 100 times. I was like smashing it, and he just saved over it and picked Bulbasaur, and I was like, you fucking cuck. Will you ever do reviews on critically acclaimed films? Not like. The problem is, yeah, I will. There's a few that I've got in mind that I might do next. This year. It's this year. Sorry, I keep forgetting that it's 2019 now. But in short, yeah, I'm not going to expand on that too much. So yeah, anyway dudes, I'm gonna go. It's like 3:15 now. Fucking late ass. Need to go to bed so that I can actually get up tomorrow and take a good stab at getting this video done. Do a bunch of filming. There's still like quite a few pieces I need to animate that I've done all the drawings for now. But yeah, thanks for joining me. And in celebration of finally getting partnered on YouTube, which is fucking awesome. Like, I didn't actually think I'd get to this point already now. I thought this, you know, I thought I'd be way off in the future, but things have really kind of accelerated over the past couple of months, which is awesome, because it just means that we might be able to do this. Like, this could possibly be a future for me in doing this, which would be the dream. So I just want to make my own stuff. It's like, and I'll do it in one form or the other, but if I can actually make a living from it somehow, that would just be incredible. I'd be living my best life. So yeah, thank you for sharing in that. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for checking my stuff out. Thank you for being here. Thank you. You guys are all super fucking awesome. Yeah, and I'll catch you soon. This video should be done in the next like week, I'd say, and it'll be up within like 10 days or so. Obviously, because like it takes a long time for like exporting and approval and blah blah blah, all the bullshit stuff on the back end. But yeah, take it easy.